Hello everyone, this is me Garima Singh. Let's start with our next chapter, that is fifth chapter. I have already covered one to fourth chapter. You will get in the playlist, that is class 12th geography. So let's start with fifth chapter, primary activities. Primary activities basically depend on earth, depend upon environment, as these refer to utilization of earth resource such as land, water, vegetation, mineral, etc. using the earth resource. An example of primary activities, you can say hunting, gathering, pastoral activities, fishing, forestry, agriculture, mining, quarrying. So we will discuss each activity one by one. First one is hunting and gathering. So I'm telling you in bullet points what it means. Hunting and gathering depend on their immediate environment, depend on animals they hunted and edible plants which they gather. Primitive society depend on hunting and gathering, fishing. Hunting and gathering is the oldest occupation practiced in harsh climate conditions. Depend on animals for food, shelter and clothing. Small capital, low level of technology than hunting and gathering. It's practiced in high latitude areas such as Eurasia, southern Chile, and in latitude as in Amazon, Congo, Southeastern Asian countries. In modern markets, some gathering is done such as leaves, bark nuts, fabric, rubber, balata gums, and resin. Our next is about pastoralism. Pastoralism. So in this we will discuss nomadic herding and commercial livestock. Let's move to the topic nomadic herding. Herder depend on you can see here depend on animals for food, transport, and shelter, as well as clothing also. They keep on moving from one place to another along with their animals. Each nomadic community occupy a well-identified territory. Variety of animals are kept in different regions. Sahara and Asiatic deserts. There you find sheep, goats, and camels. In Tibet you find yak. In Andes, llamas. Arctic region find reindeer. So this is all about nomadic herders. Then there is a one word also, that transhumans, transhumans, transhumans. So it means seasonal movement of people along with their herder to mountains in summer and plain in winter. Example like Gujar, Bakarwalas, Gaddis, Bhutias in Himalaya. That's transhuman. Now the number of pastoral nomad is decreasing due to imposition of political boundaries, then new settlement plans by different countries. Now we will discuss commercial livestock rearing. It is more organized, capital intensive, practiced in permanent ranches, large areas and divided into parcels. Animals are moved from one parcel to another, then number of animals are kept based on capacity of the pasture. Animals are sheep, cattle, goats, horses, and product you get are meat, wool, hides, and skin. This commercial livestock rearing it's practiced in New Zealand, Australia, Argentina, Uruguay, and USA. I'm just telling you the bullet points only, because when we discuss question, we discuss and explain form. Agriculture, type of agriculture, types of, so subsistence. Subsistence is include two kind of agriculture. First one is primitive subsistence, and next is intensive subsistence agriculture. So primitive subsistence agriculture, also called shifting cultivation slash and burn, practiced by tribes in tropics. Land holdings are small, do not use fertilizer, change the land frequently. After 5 years, they come back again. It is called Juming in North India, Milpa in South America, and Ladang in Malaysia. Now we'll discuss intensive subsistence agriculture. So it found in densely populated area. These are of two types. Intensive subsistence agriculture dominated by wet paddy cultivation, that is dominated by rice crop. Land holdings are very small. First one is dominated by wet paddy. Here, land holdings are very small. Family labor is used, less use of machine. Manual labor is used. Farmyard manure is used. Yield per unit is high, but per labor is low. Next is intensive subsistence agriculture dominated by crops other than paddy. So it's depend on climate, so soil relief. Other crops are cultivated, mainly practiced in Southeastern Asia. Wheat, barley, soybean, sorghum are cultivated in India. Wheat is grown in western part of Gangetic Plains. Millets are grown in western part of South India. Irrigation is used. Then European introduced plantation agriculture. So let's discuss plantation agriculture. Before that, I just should highlight the intensive subsistence agriculture type. Next is plantation, that is introduced by European. Plantation agriculture. It's introduced by Europeans. You can found in tropics this kind of plantation agriculture. Important crops are tea, coffee, cocoa, rubber, cotton, oil palm, sugarcane, banana and pineapples. Large states, capital, managerial technical support. Then scientific method of cultivation are used. Single crop specialization, cheap labor as well. Good system of transport, export oriented. You can say that French established cocoa and coffee in West Africa. The British set up tea gardens in India and Sri Lanka, rubber plantation in Malaysia, sugarcane and banana in West Indies. Then Dutch started sugarcane in Indonesia. Coffee faisanes are managed by British in Brazil. Let's discuss extensive commercial grain cultivation. So, practiced in semi-arid land of mid-latitude. Head is the main crop. Corn, barley, oats, and rare are grown. Large land holdings because it's extensive. Then machines are used. Low yield per acre but high yield per person. Practice in prairies, pampas, wells, downs, Canterbury plains. Let's discuss mixed farming. No, firstly, this mixed farming is various kind of crops where mixed farm are moderate in size, and usually the crops associated with are wheat, barley, oat. This form of agriculture you find in highly developed part of the world. Mixed farming is characterized by a high capital expenditure on farm machinery and building. Here, extensive use of chemical fertilizer and green manure are also used by the skill and expertise of the farmer. Next is dairy farming. So, most advanced and efficient type of animal rearing, highly capital intensive. Then animal shed storage facility, milching machines are used. Then highly labor intensive, special emphasis is laid on breeding healthcare. Then practice nearby urban area and industry. Development of transportation, refrigeration and pasteurization have increased the marketing. Next is Mediterranean agriculture, highly specialized um, commercial agriculture practiced in the countries around Mediterranean Sea. Also Central Chile, Southwest Africa, Southwest Australia and California. It is an important supplier of citrus fruit. You find this Mediterranean agriculture around Mediterranean Sea. In viticulture, it's specialized in this region. Viticulture is basically the uh, grape cultivation. Best quality wine is produced from grapes. Low quality grapes are used for raisins and currants. Olives and figs are also grown in Mediterranean agriculture. Fruits and vegetables are grown in winter, which are great demand in Europe. Then market gardening and horticulture. So vegetable, fruits and flower are grown. Small farms located nearby urban areas. Good transportation is required. Labor and capital intensive use of irrigation, HYV seeds, fertilizers and pesticides are used. Greenhouses and artificial heating is used in cold region. Then this practice in Northwest Europe, Northeastern USA and Mediterranean region. Netherlands is famous in growing tulips, flower. The region where vegetables are grown is called truck farming. Then let's discuss vegetable with truck farming. Let's discuss factory farming. Where is that? I miss out something or what? Okay, that's the end of the chapter. Okay. Let's go back. Factory farming. Factory farming is also present in Northwest Europe. It consists of poultry farming livestock. They are fed on factory feedstuff and carefully supervised against diseases. Heavy capital investment. Veterinary services, heating and lighting is provided. Breed selection, scientific breeding is important. Next is cooperative farming. So cooperative farming, a group of farmers form a society, pool their resources to get more profit. Individual farm remain intact. Farming is a matter of cooperative initiative. Societies help farmer in getting agriculture inputs, sell the product at most favorable term. Then cooperative farming is help in processing product at cheaper rates. Cooperative farming is practiced in Denmark, Netherlands, Belgium, Sweden, and Italy, Belgium. Next is collective farming. So, social ownership of for means of production and labor. It is also called as cause. It was introduced in erstwhile USSR. Farmer pool their resources like land, livestock, labor. A small land is allowed to return for their own to grow their own crops. Yearly targets are fixed by the government. Government fixes the product rates. Excess produce is distributed among the farmer. The farmer are to pay taxes for their own land. Members are paid according to their nature of the work. Exceptional work is rewarded by government. That is collective farming. You should remember it's also known as coal cause. Coal cause. Then mining. There are stages of mineral, copper age, bronze age, iron age. These are the stages of mineral. Firstly, it's copper, then bronze, then iron. It's CBI, yeah, copper, bronze, and iron. Actual development started with the industrialization. Then factor affecting mining activity. Physical factors such as size, grade, and mode of occurrence of mineral. Economic factors such as demand for mineral, technology available, capital, labor, transportation. Here are various method of mining. Easiest and cheapest. First is basically method of mining depend on mode of occurrence of mineral. So there are two types. First one is surface and open cast mining. Easiest and cheapest mining occur close to the surface, low safety precaution, large and quick output. That is surface open cast mining. Next is underground or shaft mining. A vertical shaft to be sunk, mineral are extracted and sent to surface. It requires specialized drills, lift, haulage vehicles, ventilation system. This method is risky, cause poisonous gases, fires, flood, and caving leads to accidents. It requires large investment. Developed countries are showing less interest, but developing countries are more interest due to large labor availability. So that is open shaft, and that is strip mining, and that is shaft mining. You have to drill it till the bottom. It's require huge investment. Then let's move on to the question. So first question is you have to choose the right answer. from the given four alternative. Let's read. Which one of the following is not a plantation crop? It's so obvious. Wheat. In which one of the following countries cooperative farming was the most successful experiment? It was Denmark. We have just studied. Growing of flower is called floriculture. Then, which one of the following type of cultivation was developed by European colonists? So it was plantation. In which one of the following region is extensive commercial grain cultivation not practiced? It's Amazon basin. It's not practiced in that. Then in which of the following, here you see nomadic herders, I think. In which of the following type of agriculture is the farming of citrus fruit very important? It's Mediterranean agriculture. Then which one type of agriculture amongst the following is also called slash and burn agriculture? So that is a primitive subsistence farming. Primitive subsistence farming is also known as slash and burn. Which one of the following does not follow monoculture? Mixed farming does not follow monoculture. Next you have to write a short answer type of question. Future of shifting cultivation is bleak. Discuss. So these days the biggest problem being faced by shifting cultivator is of shortening cycle of zoom, which makes the entire practice unstable. Also there are several restrictions imposed by government through Forest Act which hinder the free movement of tribes and practice of shifting cultivation, as well as shifting cultivation is sustainable only for self-consumption and in nature, hence it is unable to meet with the market demand, and therefore there is no scope for it in the increasing globalized market. With the infiltration of non-tribal in the tribal area, tribals are adopting to modern agriculture practice which are more productive and environmentally sustainable. So these you can write the future of shifting cultivation. Market gardening is practiced near urban areas. Why? Market gardening specializes in the cultivation of high-value perishable crops such as vegetable, fruits, flowers solely for the urban markets. They are situated close to urban markets mainly because of high high value crops. Then these crops are costly, hence they need to be situated close to market where people have high purchasing power and also demand for high valued crop. In such a situation, urban areas are the perfect market. Then these crops are perishable in nature, hence farm cannot be situated far away from the main market. Therefore, farm are situated close to the urban market so as to prevent crops from getting stale. That's why market gardening is practiced near the urban areas. Next is large scale dairy farming is the result of development of transportation and refrigeration. Large scale dairy farming, yeah, dairy products are highly perishable in nature. They have a very small shelf life. For their supply to overseas and distant market, adequate storage facility with regulated temperature and storage condition is essential. Initially, supply of dairy products are limited to nearby market, but development of storage, preservation, and transportation facility have widened their coverage. Modern transportation such as refrigerated trucks, ships with special cargoes, and faster means of transportation like airways provide with adequate facility which allow transportation of dairy product to far off markets without spoilage. Refrigeration prevents dairy product from getting spoiled. It increases their durability, hence dairy product can be sold over far off places if refrigeration is there. Next is differentiate between nomadic herding and commercial livestock Rearing. So I will tell, when I tell one point of nomadic herding, simultaneously I tell about commercial livestock also. It's like we draw and differentiate, like the way I'm telling. Just like this is diagram, and here I'm drawing like this. Not able to draw in this, but it should be like a table form. Here left side nomadic herding and right side commercial livestock. So first point of nomadic herding, you can see in nomadic herding, herder move with their animals from place to place and rely on them totally for food, clothes and transportation. Whereas in commercial livestock rearing is a modern practice of rearing animals for export of animal product. Then nomadic herding, it is a primitive subsistence activity, whereas commercial, it is a modern scientific market oriented activity. Then nomadic, here multiple animal are kept depending upon the region. Here single type of animal are kept. Then in nomadic, herder keeps on moving with animal from one place to another according to availability of pasture and water. They also practice transhumance. The area of a tribe is decided by matter of tradition. Then it is carried out on huge permanent ranches which are scientifically managed parcels. Nomadic herding generally related to nomadic tribes, commercial livestock associated with Western developed countries. In nomadic, little or no capital is utilized. In commercial, high capital intake and spent on caring, feeding, breeding of animal. In nomadic, primarily a subsistence activity in which herder rely on animal for their need of food, clothes, transportation. In commercial, it is market-oriented activity where animals like horse, sheep are reared to obtain product like meat, hides, etc. for sale in national as well as international market. In nomadic herding, no modern technological support. In commercial, it is highly mechanized. Next is discuss the important characteristic feature of plantation agriculture. Name a few important plantation crop from different countries. So originally introduced by European in colonies situated in the tropics, plantation agriculture is distinct from other kind of agriculture practice because of its specific feature. The characteristic feature of this type of farming are, first you can say, profit oriented large scale production system. Large state plantation, huge capital, totally market oriented scientific method of cultivation. Then monoculture, it is a link between agriculture and industry. Important plantation crop, you can, the French established cocoa and coffee plantation in West Africa. British set up large tea garden in India and Sri Lanka, rubber plantation in Malaysia, sugarcane and banana plantation in West Indies. Spanish and American invested heavily in coconut and sugarcane. Then Dutches once had monopoly over sugarcane plantation in Indonesia. Some coffee fazendas, that is large plantation in Brazil, are still managed by Europeans. So you can say they are provided with well-developed transportation facility where raw material provided by them is processed. So that's all about this chapter. In next lecture we will discuss about sixth chapter. That's for today. Go, and if you want to watch and repeat, to watch and repeat. Also you can find previous lecture on the playlist, in the playlist, that is class 12 geography. So I'm done with fifth chapter. I have completed till fifth chapter. Next lecture will be about sixth.